Okay, so this is my critical review of the development of promo practice codes and conventions for assessment task 1, unit 32, promotional video production. So to start it off, I am going to talk about a 1950s sci-fi trailer called The Day Earth Stood Still, which was made in 1951. I'm just going to talk through it and what I see. So to start with, we have a dramatic voiceover, which gives us the narrative, what it's going to involve. So aliens always involve some kind of alien.
We bring you this special radio television
Over the
broadcast
top
in order to
acting,
give you the very
and it's
latest
a man.
information on an amazing phenomenon: the arrival of a spaceship in Washington.
Again, there you go. You've got the narrative, aliens, brainwashing.
To meet any emergency which may develop. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
So we get the action shots. There's normally men, USA family men, fathers, people who work for the state, doctors, titles, we've got the over titles.
I came here to give you these facts. But if you threaten to extend
We
your
also
violence,
have
this earth of yours will be reduced to a burned
women
out cinder.
in these that are basically typical housewives, and they definitely scream a lot. We have G-Wiz kids, which is basically children that Sarah Von Homer, like G-Wiz. Soldiers, which are inept, so that the protagonist can be the hero.
You could destroy the earth. All vehicles, close in.
And the cinematography is always shots that involve running, screaming off camera, left and maybe angled up a little bit. We have cuts from action to action. And we always have a limp body or a lady, and her body's quite limp. And there's always involves grabbing weapons, people looking into the distance. So the music is quite dramatic. It's expositional. It tells you how to feel if you don't know the narrative. So it's quite, big and dramatic and stuff. We have the voiceover, which infuses quite strong authority, and it was actually a news guy. And he also had a very deep voice. The key phrases which were involved are sometimes jokes and puns. And again, you hear a lot of screams. We heard lots of screams in that. The locations that are used are space, newsrooms. More often than not, there's labs involved. And car parks, which is always a good one. Houses and bedrooms. So let's compare it to Sharknado trailer, which is quite recent.
Hurricane David is poised to be the first hurricane.
It's a storm. That's what's driven them all up north.
So we've got a couple of the characters talking to each other about what's going to happen. So this is what's giving us a narrative.
Poised to be the first hurricane.
It's a storm. That's what's driven them.
There's a female character in here, which is before female characters. This is where we have the paradigmatic shift. She's going to be quite a strong character through
All up north.
all
I've
of
never
it.
seen so many of them or so cold.
It's barely even raining.
It's flooding here. Not the
Another
flooding.
female that's part of it.
You need to go home.
I'm not going anywhere.
Storm's coming and it's coming fast.
And here we go, action, cut from action to action, so that stays the same.
Fast. Just gonna sit back and watch.
People screaming and getting dragged under as part of the
Back
action.
and watch. Just
Just
gonna
one
sit back
person,
and watch
there you
this.
Weapons, people grabbing weapons, as before, people being
Tornado's
eaten,
heading towards the airport. We need to destroy it before it gets to the
people looking somebody looking into the distance somewhere along here. I think it was in the car. It was here, wasn't it?
Just can't sit back and watch this.
Looking into the distance.
Tornado's heading towards the airport. We need to destroy it before it gets to the
There is dramatic music,
Watch out!
and I suppose the voiceovers as
Wait
well.
here, when sharks are rain down.
With the people that are acting in it, they give the voiceover. So rather than somebody saying, "This is happening, blah blah blah," and them telling everyone what's happening through the whole trailer, we're having the visuals explain it to us, and the one-liners that are coming out from the main characters.
We're gonna throw bombs into the tornado.
It's too dangerous. Too many of them. We're gonna need a bigger chopper.
Claudia, move! It's time to leave Kansas, man.
Okay, so the music goes with the editing, it picks up the pace, it gets quicker, and eventually leads up to the title. And we see a little end excerpt, which is like part of the person, you've got the big creature, so we've got sharks in a tornado, which is basically quite silly if you look at the whole thing, the same as today. If we go back to the 1950s trailer, having a spaceman come down to Earth, blah blah blah, and it's just still very highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely that you would get that. Okay, so we have the narratives are still basically the same, which is what the protagonists come across, so the problems that they face. There's still love interests, protagonists and antagonists. The locations are basically the same. There is some changes, I suppose. There's more visual effects. The visual effects are better in films today, whereas before they weren't that great. The camera work is still the same. We still have looking off into the distance, people being attacked by the monsters. So we have this one, this bit, so people being dragged off, and then here we have, where is it? Where do they start to run?
I came here to give you these facts. First will be reduced
So, where is it? Oh, here you go. People being, all the weapons being disintegrated.
all vehicles.
So, this is where they start to attack. Okay, so you got the people screaming.
Can't sit back and watch this.
People screaming. There you go. There's the screams. So the sounds are basically the same. You've still got the Foley that's involved. You've still got the spot effects, so the explosions, the weapons that are being used, that's all in there. And the editing style, there are still fades, dissolves, hard cuts, and also the transitional camera movements to accentuate the cuts and edits together. So I suppose the biggest style and inspiration that's kind of influenced Asylum films is the actual 1950s sci-fi trailers. You know, you get that's where the drive-through movies started. That's when trailers started to become more popular. And as well, the plots weren't particularly complex. Like, The Earth Stood Still isn't any more complex than the Sharknado. The issues that were portrayed in different ways. You know, you had they did start to bring the 1950s did start to bring women into it more. The fact that they also made the 50-foot woman means that women were getting more powerful after the war. So today, to have women actually in the trailers and playing lead parts. So where's this one? Here we go. This woman here is basically holding a weapon, whereas before you would never have had that. And warning people
Wait here, with sharks to
being
ring
the
down.
centre of the game. So yeah, 1950s has had a strong impact on trailers that have been made today, not just for sci-fi or B movies or anything like that, as a whole. Thanks.